The medicine man then gave her a liquid substance to drink in order to calm her down, but unknowingly to her, the substance was to make her tell everyone about Ike's true identity. Welcome to Chama's Folk Tales. Today's story is Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a rich man called Chief Odoi, who had 2 wives, 2 sons and 2 daughters. His first wife, NENE, was the mother of Ekene and Ebere. On the other hand is the second wife, Doro, who was the mother of Ike and Chinyere. Chief Odozi's house had been a battlefield for his wives and children for many years. He tried all he could for peace to reign between the wives and children, but all to no avail. It all started long time ago when Chief Odoi married Doro as his second wife. NENE and Doro happens to be best friends before Chief Odoi came into the picture. NENE and Doro valued their friendship and cared for each other like sisters, but all that went in vain when Doro couldn't control her jealous heart. One day, NENE and Doro were on their way to the market when they came across Chief Odoi. At once, Doro fell in love with him, but Chief Odoi was interested in NENE, and that made Doro so angry and jealous towards NENE. Not too long, NENE got married to Chief Odoi, but was unable to fulfill her duty as a wife for many years. On the 3rd year of their marriage, without a child, NENE became worried that if something is not done fast, her husband might send her back to her parents and marry another woman to give him children. Chief Odoi was a strong traditional man who held the strongest and most important position well known in the village, and for that all eyes were on him. His fellow chiefs were already mounting pressure on him to send his wife packing and marry another woman who is fruitful and capable of bearing children. Because of the love and respect Chief Odoi had for his wife NENE, he pleaded with the other chiefs to give him more time to think about it before taking his final decisions. NENE was hooked up and didn't know what else to do. After many days with several thoughts, he decided to persuade her husband into getting her best friend pregnant without sleeping with her. Chief Odoi was against the idea, but after thinking through it, he decided to concur to it because he loved his wife so much and can't afford to lose her. NENE begged and pleaded with her best friend Doro to be her surrogate mother in order to save her marriage. Doro kicked against the idea at first, but later changed her mind when Chief Odoi promised to settle her handsomely. 1 week later, they went to the village hospital where the process and necessary requirements were carried out. Few weeks later, Doro conceived and told her best friend NENE and her husband Chief Odoi. NENE and her husband were very happy that everything was going well as planned, and soon they would have their own baby. NENE and her husband kept everything to themselves in order not to let any of the villagers or chiefs to know about it. Doro never lacked anything. She was given all the love, care and support by NENE and her husband. 6 weeks later, Doro became so desperate to have everything to herself, and that includes Chief Odoi. She began to use their secret as an opportunity to get close to Chief Odoi, for she had never stopped loving him since the very first day they met. She started to seduce her friend's husband, and when she noticed her plans of seducing him were not in progress, she decided to blackmail them and threatened to let everyone know that she's their surrogate mother. NENE and her husband were confused and worried at the same time, that if third ears get to know about their plans, there would be a big problem. Not only would she be sent back to her parents' house, but her husband's title, respect, and position will be taken away from him, and he would be made to marry the surrogate mother. NENE and her husband begged Doro not to reveal their secret to anyone. They also promised to pay her in double instead. But Doro was a stone-hearted woman. She promised to keep the secret if only Chief Odoi marry her and take up the responsibility of her and her baby. NENE and her husband were shocked at her demands, for it was the least of their expectation and wasn't part of their initial agreement. They pleaded with her to request for something else, but Doro refused to take her words back, for that was all she wanted, and she threatened to expose their secret to everyone in the village if nothing is done in the next 14 days. Out of fear and the consequences attached to their secret, NENE pleaded with her husband to marry Doro as second wife as soon as possible. NENE and her husband had no choice than to fulfill Doro's wish by marrying her. 8 weeks after, NENE noticed that she was pregnant after confirming it from the village doctor. Her husband was very happy and regretted ever marrying Doro in a haste out of fear. Doro was so disappointed when she heard that NENE was pregnant at almost the same time with her. She tried everything possible to get the best treatment, care, and love from their husband, but she failed woefully because she forced her way into the marriage. 28 weeks after, NENE gave birth to Ekene prematurely. The village doctors did everything possible to keep him alive. They thought he wouldn't make it because he was so tiny, but luckily he lived. NENE and her husband were the most happiest couple in the village, and they thanked God for keeping Ekene alive for them. Doro was so angry that NENE gave birth before her, and to crown it all, she gave birth to a baby boy. Few weeks later, Doro gave birth to a baby boy and named him Ike, and 1 year later, they gave birth to baby girls named Ebere and Chinyere. And since then, Chief Odozi's house lost its peace. Constant quarreling and fighting among themselves. Today it will be the wives fighting, and tomorrow it will be the children quarreling over little and irrelevant things. One day, their father, Chief Odoi, called his wives and children and decided to share his properties among his sons, since age is no longer on his side. Out of the 5 lands he had, he gave 2 to Ike and handed the remaining 3 to Ekene, his first son. The mansion they were living, he divided it into 2, gave the upstairs to his first wife NENE, and gave the downstairs to Doro. Doro and her children were very angry that he gave them small percentage of his properties. Ike refused to accept the 2 portions of land given to him. On several occasions, Ekene and Ike kept fighting and quarreling over the land. Ike would leave his land given to him by their father and go farm on Ekene's land and harvest all his crops. Ekene and his mother warned him many times never to step his foot on the land, but Ike kept on trying his chi. The conflict between them lasted for many years till one day, Ike went to Ekene's farm to harvest his crops as usual when he was bitten by a poisonous snake. He was rushed to the village hospital for treatment. The village doctors tried for days but no improvement. He was discharged from the village hospital to a medicine man's hut. The medicine man told them that before he could commence treatment on Ike, that Doro must reveal the real identity of Ike. Chief Odoi was surprised at what the medicine man was saying. He then told the medicine man that Ike was his son from his second wife Doro, But the medicine man insisted that Doro should tell everyone the true identity of Ike in order to save his life, as he had no much time left because he had lost a lot of blood from the deadly snake bite. Doro held back on saying the truth to everyone. The medicine man then gave her a liquid substance to drink in order to calm her down, but unknowingly to her, the substance was to make her tell everyone about Ike's true identity. Few minutes after drinking the substance, Doro began to confess in front of everyone. What happened was that when Doro was in labor and was taken to the village hospital for delivery, and after few minutes of labor, she gave birth to a still baby. Her baby was long dead in her womb. She was scared of losing everything at the beginning of her success, so she pleaded with the nurse who had helped deliver her baby to switch her dead baby girl with that of the other woman who was unconscious after delivering her baby boy. She also confessed that Chinyere was the only child she had with Chief Odozi. She also said that she did all that out of desperation and jealousy, and her greed for wealth and desperation made her betray her friendship with her best friend NENE. After her confessions, Ike regained consciousness and was treated and healed by the medicine man. Doro was so ashamed of her past actions and pleaded for everyone's forgiveness and promised never to bother them after helping Ike to reunite with his real family. Weeks after, Ike was fully healed and reunited with his real family. He pleaded with Chief Odozi and his family for forgiveness, while Doro went to a very far village and no one heard or saw her since then. Chinyere reunited with her family and they all lived happily ever after. Lessons from this story is that never choose jealousy and desperation over true friendship. Being greedy and obsessed with desperation will do you more harm than good. Never betray your friendship and loved ones because in the end you will equally get hurt. Always learn to stick with agreement without trying to outsmart others because greed had nothing good to offer in the end. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed and learned one or two from this story. Please let me know at the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe, like, share and comment. It helps us to grow more. See you soon in our next story. Bye.